Let's talk about your family a little bit. Your father, you always speak about your father, the musician, and how he influenced you. And it must have been really a joy for him to see you, you know, take on the world, maybe in ways that he as well would have wanted to take on the world, but no, he's able to do that alongside his son. How much has that relationship even developed? And what was it like, you know, growing up in a household with daddy and your mommy and your brothers and your sisters?
Well, you know, our relationship with my father solid, you know, because as a whole we grew up together, you know, my mother, father, grandmother, them three parents there, our thing solid, like our thing an unbreakable thing, you see me? Like our thing pass unbreakable. You see me? Our thing real family thing. You see me? Because me see somehow where them got you. And imagine the rest. You see me? Because them tell me everything, you know. Like some things that my father not tell me, my mother tell me. Some things my mother not tell me, my father exposed me to it. So it's like some things where them not tell you, your grandmother tell you, say, yo, you see all your mother, let me tell you something about her, you know. So I know enough things that my mother got through, enough things that my father got through, and it creates a very strong bond between me and them, you know, where no matter what, I can always think of them with understanding of what they have been through and how far them progress in order for me for even get access to certain knowledge and certain experiences, you me? So yeah man, our connection really strong. And now we've been going through a lot of transitioning as a family, figuring out the next move them what we are gonna do. You know, how we can be more sustainable. And I've been doing that on many levels with my personal family and with my parents and my siblings as well. So right now family taking up like the whole of my meditation every day, more than any album or any music. Or, you know, it's mainly just thinking about how I can help my family to be more sustainable, where we can now go and function as individuals, and because the family has sustained itself. You see me? So yeah.
What kind of father are you now that you're a new daddy?
Yeah, you have to wait until she's big enough and can express that, because like there's absolutely no way for me to really I can tell what type of daughter she is and how.
Tell me, what kind of daughter is she?
She's like a thing of me and her mother, like you know, she's just half Kelisa, half me, straight. You see me? So highly into anything having to do with motion and music and sound, and you know, and she get into traveling and speech, you know, relatively early. Yeah.
Nice.
So she always try to communicate with me and move wherever we are move. She want to move. So you find say.
Does she have an interest for music as well?
Yeah, every baby.
Okay.
Every baby have, you know what I mean? I've never really met a baby without high interest in sound, because that's how they're learning now, like sound tasting.
Yeah.
You know, different textures, and like, so as she had developed, you know, me had learned more and more about switch. But for me, she have really been a sense of balance. You know, same way like how Mr. Herb is a good balancer of things, the youth is even more of a balancer, because them help you for always, them create a center for you, you know what I mean? And you don't know, you always have that center. So if you don't remember what to do, just think of the center. And you remember what to do. You know what I mean? Like whenever you choose anything you have to decide in life, just bring your mind forward to the center, and within there lies a solution for everything. How you're supposed to dress, what you're supposed to eat when you're there at the market and I think about what to buy, when you're there in the place and I look on what kind of house, how you want to build your house, just think from a central, go forward to the center. Because as I said, the youth represent you and your partner and everything were important in a one. You see me? Them is like literally is like a statue of your family.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's a mirror. The people
it's
like
like
talk
them
about
is
that.
Like the thing. Them is like the symbol.
Yeah.
Your youth is the sign that you have a family.
Yeah.
You see me? You and the woman, yeah, on the farm a powerful unit, but the youth is an actual cosmic sign that now you have a family. So
that's a good point.
When you keep the youth at the center now, you know, say, if you have to think, yo, how much track for put on my album, that's where I go for the solution. Like, think of it from there, you know. And I'm learning that because, like, you don't know, after going through 26 years, 25 years of just thinking about myself most of the times, you see me? It's like it take practice now and development for actually gradually become that.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't too much of a rough adjustment though, as in to nighttime crying, you know?
Not
changing.
I think I got through enough youth before my biological youth.
Yeah.
To anticipate certain things. You know? And I'm sound sensitive, but not in the same way as other people. I feel like the youth, for instance, she's way more sound sensitive than me. You see me? Like I can live through bawling or whatever, but you know what I mean? She inherit from her mom this thing now where she even more sound sensitive.
Wow.
You know? Yeah. Them. Cause remember, you know, you inherit your ears from your parents. Not just your hair, but your ear you get from your parents. So the way how the bone them in the ear structure and how the earlobe shape, all of that is God-given, but it's not as God-given as your inner talents, like your inner, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That is an outward thing. Where if you're born with it as a gift, like if you inherit a good nose or a good vocal thing, a good voice, then develop it, but don't spend too much time trying to develop what is already developed. You see me? So me, I have to do a whole heap of development for my ears. You see me? It caught me as a man with half deaf more time. You see me?
Would you want her to get into the music industry though? Like, would you? Do you have a desire for her at all? Like,
no, I try not to impose too much. I catch myself more time. I say, yo, I want you to become a great instrumentalist. That's because that's what me want for myself. You see me? That's what I did always want, to be like a virtuoso at a music instrument. You know, I always had to settle for the voice because throughout my development so far, I'm still yet to develop the solid principles where I take and discipline for actually practice musical instruments. So like, I always want, sometimes I catch myself projecting that onto her, but then me know say, yo, ease up, man, and give the youth them a chance.
Yeah.
You see me? Give the youth them a chance and an opportunity for shine and say to the world what them is, you know?
Yeah. So one of the things that happened was you made a comment about a public figure, public leader, and it blew up. And
President Barack Obama. Yo, trust me.
It blew up, and a lot of people had a lot of things to say.
Yeah.
And even people who were, you know, like, you know, when Jesus had come through and them say, Messiah, 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 and the same one, them say, crucify him, crucify him, crucify him.
It wasn't that bad. Now that we look back at it, it wasn't that bad. It's just, as I said, you know what I mean? Like, people did really have understanding. A lot of people did look at it with understanding, because, like, you know what I mean, is a youth to express him what arise within him.
Yeah.
You know? fearlessly too, you see me? Because you don't know. Cause remember, you know, we burn out all, yeah, we burn out enough things in upon spotting. Yeah. Jamaica people not hear the fullness of what we say about the American system and how it operates. And when we in America, we say that. Yeah. And when we're there Israel, we call out Israel. And when we're there Africa, we call out Africa. Pan yo, what we want to do?
Yeah.
Because remember, our youth, you know, we don't want nobody nothing, you know, we mash up the world, you know. Yeah, and I know me, I say what Obama do. It on record. Everything we ever do, good, and whatever else you want to say. But when you really think of it, as an African, we should all make an effort to make sure that our words really create a sense of support for each other rather than a voice of criticism. Or if you're going to criticize, make it also be accompanied by a voice of solution and from a place of solid reasoning, you know. So that would be my advice to any youth, especially when you articulate about a next African leader or anyone, any African, or like, we already got through a lot of outside pressure. If you build up the same type of pressure from inside, it can't be productive.
Yeah.
Can never be productive.
Yeah. Did you feel pressured coming into the business? Let me tell you why I asked that. So when you came in, everybody was like, this is our next Bob Marley. So there was this level of expectation. I realized that was being thrusted upon what your music would do and sound like. He's going to come and change the space, and, you know, he's come talk about Black Revolution, and he's going to be causing a lot of, you know, upheavals on systems of operations that were in existence for a while.
Yeah.
Did you feel pressured at all about, you know, carrying that, or you just...
It wasn't people who say I was going to do that. I was doing that.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't people who say, yo, he's going to sing songs about... Before anyone in Jamaica started listening to my music, my brethren them can tell you, my lyrics was my lyrics. My melody was... And not my as in, you know, it comes from within.
Yeah.
You know, it comes from that common place of inspiration. That's how all the other artists who say it, that's where they say it from. That's where they say it from. So it wasn't people pressuring me to do anything or say anything like, oh, you should say this. I actually was saying what people wasn't expecting of you to say. You know what I mean? And that was where a lot of the pressure arises from, which was more inward pressure. Like me feeling pressured, like, yo, you really gonna say this? You know? Or you really gonna do this? Like, you know what I mean? Like going to Africa to perform during a big political uprising in Kenya and whatever. It's like you're always thinking, like, at the beginning of your music, when you should be enjoying music and enjoying the creative process of being an artist and the freedom of being an artist. Are you really gonna confine yourself to this thing that will have a ripple effect, you know? Yeah, so that was the most pressure or the most question what I was doing, but never what it's to how I raised as a youth. The thing them people say and how people is my daughter really just now teach me how for really keen to what other people are project. Because otherwise me is like one of them people who does a move, you see me? It's like it doesn't even matter, you see me? Because I just life.
Yeah.
You see me? And what is what is, you see me? And even like the same thing about the President Barack Obama, is like, for me, it's just like I never saw America as, which is the US, as Kabaka showed me a thing the other day. I make a post on Instagram and him comment with that thing and I look into it. You know, Kabaka is like one of my greatest brethren them, and him always in a music, and him always, you know, him always put things in a way how I can understand it from an intellectual level and not just from how I feel within my emotions. Like him always, you know, so yeah, him kind of show me a whole thing about the United States of America and the Republic of you know, And America, it's all different things. So, when you hear a man say United States by itself, it's different from when a man say United States of America. And it's different. It's a very complex thing. So the man who I represent them thing there, he might represent something massive, a thing with many faces and many sides. You know, he might represent a country with the most African people incarcerated. He might represent a country where he might lead within a time when Gaddafi are going to get killed. He might lead within a time when enough man are going to get executed. He might lead within a time when whole heap of shooting are going within the African communities and crime still like the remnants from the war and drugs, all them things there. Just now I reach full fruition where I see the real effects of this war and drugs business.
And even the whole Black Lives Matter as well. The movement of that.
All these things, I think Black Lives Matter to me is like this rallying point.
Yeah.
Where somewhere where we can all place our focus instead of everybody place them focus in a different direction. It represents something that could happen. If it is going to truly do that, we have to, all the people who subscribe to it just have to wait for it pan out. But how me see it, how I see it is really a thing from within. We have to look within ourselves and, as I said, develop a capacity to manifest these things that we have within, you know, to break free from out of certain things. You see me? And it's not easy to explain. You know, it's not easy to explain, and we shouldn't pretend like we have everything figured out. But what we do know is that I can't think of the American people and America as the same thing. It's two different things.
Okay.
So sometimes when you express how you feel about America, the people who love and defend it so much might feel like you're attacking them, you know, but them probably don't see it from your perspective. Yeah. You know?
There's a succession plan though, the succession plan of our country and the world, and is it something that we're just winging as human beings, or, you know, we say, boy, anybody who feel ready to come, come.
We have to figure it out, you know. Africa need a chance, and we need to take our chance. Now is our chance to literally make decisions without being some colonial thing where, oh, we have to think about the best interests of the monarch of England or something like that. Just like think about what is best for we as African people who get separated from out of Africa, how we can rebuild a bridge. So the things that we came out of Africa to develop, we can now use it to the benefit of Africa. And the things that developed in Africa in our absence and throughout our exile in the West and our experience in the West, we need to create that thing so we can make up our own mind. Like Senegal no need to think in the best interest of France for everything, more than it think for the best interest of the people who live in Senegal, which is African people. So it's the same thing with my whole outlook on first of all these big government in the world, all of them is some illegal drugs business and some land ownership scam. You see me? So let's just say that. You see me? Let's just put that down and speak from that place, because that's the only truth. You see me? There is no other truth.
Yeah.
You see me? There is no other truth. Nigeria, the land of Nigeria, was scammed away from people. The land of Jamaica scammed away. Like all them things is things where some broken treaties and some. You see me? So it's like we no need for what we are debate about that for. You see me?
Yeah.
That's not up for debate, that it actually happened. You see me? In modern history, it's not like in Jesus' days. Them things that happen where they, you see me, down to grandparents, them there when certain things did happen. So we can't pretend like, some people no grow with them grandparents, you know, them get cut off from the truth, you know. But when you grow and your grandmother explain to you, say, yo, this happening, you know. See, it did in a newspaper, it's real, me did dead, you know. You get for said some illegal thing. Remember, you know, my family, them a vote from them at 13. Them think they're illegal, like we know them thing.
Wow.
And you see me? I vote from them at 15, 16. And them think they're illegal. So we know these things. This coming election, other 15-year-old, I go vote. You see me? And then now, them are going to say, since the government so illegal, is a global threat for us to control our own country. That's the next step. So all the measures we are going to put in place for make sure that a 15-year-old can vote, it will regulate from United States, China, Canada, France, them country there. And now we are going to take control of our own thing and decide, say, yo, done with corruption upon our own. It will take an external, disciplinary, superior force for come and impose that upon me. And that's the next step of our government designed for we. And where America designed for we. It's them design it, is not me. If I was to design something, I would design something different. I wouldn't design that. You see me?
First of all, are you concerned any at all about winning a Grammy or being on anybody's charts or stream numbers?
Not as an artist.
Okay.
Not as an artist, but for the collective thing of what's happening in Jamaican music and the experience that my team are having, whether it's your manager or your PR or your producers or your mixing engineer, the musicians that help you to make your project. In thinking about everyone, you have to also think about what they consider as, or what is considered as a milestone for them. For an artist, your number one milestone is making a tough tune where enough people can reach people, you know what I mean? And once you get that, you know what I mean, then that's it. That you never gonna get nothing more fulfilling than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you are an artist who one of your main fulfillments is winning a Grammy or anything, winning anything other than someone's ears and someone's heart, is like, I don't know what being that type of artist feels like at all, you see me? Like my whole time, I say, yo, I did just want to make music that my family and my brethren them and my sister them love. You see me? Like literally, like if Daddy Barnes and Pierre and my grandmother and Kelissa and Janine love my tune them and Protege and Kabaka and some of my brethren them when I played for like all Bambino or if I played for DJ Wayne or if I played for Sparks, you see if them like it and I go down and pop in and shout all when I youth them and say, listen this, and him listen it and like it, that's the only place I've ever made music from in terms of expectations.
Yeah.
You see me? That's the one thing with me just want to know that if it playing at the market people them can catch a vibes, and if a man a play it in taxi, or if a man having birthday or whatever, wherever music is to have an impact on people, if it gets there and have an impact, it fulfill its ultimate capacity as a song.
Yeah.
Everything else will come after that. It's just when them say C key first and then everything else will come. So if everything else come after that, then you see me?
Love that.
Is that you know what I mean? You don't think about
they want to connect a while ago with my chest.
My award is when my little brother think my tune tough.
Yeah.
You see me? If my little brother, he's a musician, you know, and if Hector them and them and they like how my harmonies sound, and if when me played for some of my brethren them in America, whether it's a rapper or a singer or a producer, and they feel like, yo, Jamar, your thing really, you grow. You know, and if them feel like it nicer than the one before or whatever, like them thing there are my ultimate, like them thing that want me do this thing for.
So what does Della
Ultimately.
Splash reflect now with the growth of Chronixx? What kind of sound are we hearing? Because cool like the breeze. I say it name. Cool as the breeze.
Like
Is it-
Irene, I always think of Irene. Every time I say cool as a breeze, the first image arises within myself is an image of Irene and the sound of him saying, cool as a breeze I flow, so airy and merry, perfection life trees grow. You see me? So it is, well, cool as a breeze, all them sound there is just like some sound will come forward from me and some of my brethren them produce, you know, some new vibes.
so the album is not
energy.
reggae, or is that
So
dancehall?
I am reggae, you know. I and I is reggae music, you know, the liberation sound, the freedom sound, the 1-2 order, everything together. Is that create reggae, you know?
Yeah.
And as me say, we preserve the freedom sound when I like the sound of Babylon, your time is over. That sound. You know, the system, this is, after this song, the system must come down. That type of energy I put into my songs. It's not like no one can school me about reggae, you know, except Sly Dunbar and Family Man. And when I go amongst them, man, all I do is listen. But no one else can come tell me, yo, well, especially if you're not like a musician,
Yeah.
who have played and listened to over 1,000 records, you know, and who have written over a certain amount of songs and have studied Bob Marley's music and know his catalog and the years that his song came out under which circumstance, at what time, who were the instrumentalists on the album, where did it mix, how did it get mastered. If you know all those things, let's talk reggae. But if you don't know those things, then it's hard for me to sit down and just like allow you for school me upon something where it's like me as a student, you know. So if someone are gonna teach me, it have to be a next student or a teacher.
Yeah.
Not someone from outside of the school compound running and just start tell you everything. And you gotta say, all right, you know, especially if it not make sense. You know, like when someone say, yo, reggae tune, like, how do you describe a reggae song? You know, what makes a song a reggae song? You know?
So Della Splash is the album. How many tracks? How the production go? What kind of sounds we are hear from it? We are talk about in it.
I mean, it's not going to be as many tracks as Chronology, because that's my one thing I never love about Chronology. It just never ending. You know? It's just like,
Really?
It's just never ending. It's just like one hour mash. It's like enough music, you know. And the music them so deep. It's like, you know, I would love to release an album where I can release a next album, you know, without it just never ending.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the album, people supposed to feel like, yo, where's the next album?
Yeah.
You know?
So how many tracks are you giving them this time?
Little. Less. a little less.
No number, you can't give it a number?
A little less.
Than Chronology?
Than Chronology.
Okay.
A little. I mean, at least 6 songs less.
Okay.
Than Chronology. And the songs on this is more, it's just some, I don't know if to describe it here, man. To tell you the honest truth, it's like, I don't know if to describe it.
You worked with international producers and Jamaican producers?
Yeah,
and
mostly Jamaican producers. Mostly Jamaican. Young Jamaican. I didn't work with any of the more known producers. You know, I think the most known of the producers to Jamaican people is Teflon.
So you have people who are younger than Teflon working on the album?
On most of the album.
Really?
Yeah.
Incredible.
So the album, I work with Universal, I work with JLL, I work with Panther from UK, I work with Kelsey. Maybe Kelsey would be probably one of the more known people. I work with Kelsey from Free Nationals. I work with Ron Gilmore, you know. And I work with, who else? I work with Joshua Jones, who was the original bass player in Zinc Fence. I work with Nicholas Graskopf, guitarist from Jamaica. I work with Josiah Watkis, guitarist from Jamaica. I work with Garreth M, guitarist from Jamaica. I work with Debbie Bissoon, guitarist from Jamaica. I work with Josiah Watkis, 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 guitarist from Jamaica. I work with Josiah enough young youth, just
Yeah.
like I'm a brethren them as we're supposed to make an album. Like you can't say I'm a brethren and me there make album and you not help me yeah. See, you have to come and help I.
I love
So,
that. And when
then-
is it dropping?
I don't know.
Soon.
Like I personally, that's something I try not to get because it make me anxious.
Okay.
You know? So I don't think about when them things, you know what I mean? 'Cause it's like when you're actually making the music, it just feel like, it's like you're a cook. And someone that say, yo, make sure the rice and peas done in a 10 minutes. See? I say about rice and peas, I forgot greater coconut, so them definitely anticipate a more rice and peas where you open the grace coconut.
Oh, I get
But
it. Ready to go.
me I make one rice and peas where you have to grate the coconut.
And squeeze it out.
And squeeze it.
Yeah.
You see me? Then a lot of people more I think say, yo, why not just buy a thing and throw in the thing and sell the thing and do the thing in 15 minutes, see? But you know, when you're doing that, you can get anxious and it's very easy for you to lose sense of how special what you're doing is. You know, because you think about the fact, say, oh shit, now got done in time and whatever. And you say, yo, brother, just go and take your time and squeeze out the coconut juice. Because proper rice and peas.
Yeah.
Proper.
Well, we can't wait to hear it, that's for sure.
Yeah, me too. Like I want to hear it like just without feeling like me I work on it. Like, yo, I'm gonna change this. You know, because like, every time you listen it, it's like me I say, alright, I'm gonna take out this. You know, too much of this, too much of that. You know, so I want to listen it now from you can't change nothing again. You know? Because up until right now, every time I listen to that project, I have to change something.
Yeah. So you're 28.
Yeah.
Do you have a grand vision for your life? Like, do you have a level of advancement of your own self that you'd want to achieve? Or are you,
I wouldn't say grand in terms of ultimate.
Yeah.
But for the next 9 years, like for the next period of your life, yeah, definitely. I would like to develop, as I say, I would like to develop my ability to take the things from out of my head, you know, become less of a head person, more of a earth person where whatever in your head, you can collaborate with nature and other people to make it. You know, so if there's a shoes that you like, you know, rather than think that you're going to run down the shop, buy a shoes, you know, think of everyone who you know who make these things and how you can learn to make it with them or even by yourself if possible, you know what I mean? So things like agricultural science, like some of the more scientific part of my nature would I like to develop. Like the science of music, agricultural science, environmental science. You know, things that can benefit, things that can really help me for going at the future with a solid foot.
Yeah.
Rather than feeling like you don't know where your next meal are gonna come from, or like literally, even if you have the money.
Yeah.
One of the most annoying things is to have enough money to buy a lot of food and still not knowing where it is coming from. That's like the most annoying thing. So it's like developing your knowledge of your skills within agricultural science and how to plan and execute in a way that the earth can provide for you and you can provide for it and your family, everybody sustainable. Like sustainability, I would say is my plan, like to become sustainable in everything that I'm doing. You know, so you don't waste your energy. You know, you give your energy in a way that you know it will fertilize everything else
and live past
in a circle. You know what I mean? And circle, and it must come around. It have to come around. Like once you give it, it's coming around. So that are my main things. So that's the agricultural science, music science, cause them two things that me like. You know what I mean? Like me love. You know, me love agriculture because that's where you get your clothes. That's where you get everything. Like, you know what I mean? That's where you get your car. That's where you get just from knowing about the earth. You know, the different minerals, the different plant life. You get everything from that. Everything come from that.
Yeah.
Everything you can imagine come from that. So, them say once you see that first, everything else, you see me? I don't mean say so the people from long time say that, so me have to, you see me have to at least consider it.
And it must be truth.
You know what
it must be truth, because we see
there's
the manifestation
truth.
of it.
There's truth
all
in
around
it, man.
us.
There's truth, like we can, and it's just empowering myself, because like I find that I'm really passionate about empowering others, and it can really depreciate your own self if you're not equally as passionate about empowering yourself, giving yourself the tools by which you can now go and empower a lot of other people. Like you have to give yourself the tools, which is the skills and the knowledge for say, yo, if I'm going to give, I need to have enough of, you know, because you can't give what is not there.
Exactly.
You know, so you have to make sure, say, yo, if you use a man who love to give someone a melon every time you see them, just make sure you have some, you can't think, say, you're going to buy melon to give to people. You know, that's not sustainable, because you don't know where the melon them are come from. You know, like, so if you can know where the melon is coming from, so you can also give to where the melon is, making sure that more melon coming all the times, then, yeah.
I think you've given so much to this interview. Thank you. Thank you so much for the listening.
Good.
Thank you.